Villa Carlotta offers one the emotion of traveling through time, from the Age of Enlightenment through to the rich bourgeois society of the 19th century, following the conflicts between European states through to the birth of modern sciences, which would forever change the world. Villa Carlotta was built during the 17th century by Giorgio Clerici, at the time president of the Lombardy Senate, who used it for his political affairs. However, by the 18th century, the Clerici family had squandered their wealth, and in 1801, the last Clerici heir sold the villa to Giambattista Sommariva. Sommariva was a man of politics and friend of Napoleon. He was also a patron with a love for the arts. He bought the villa and set up his museum here. In 1850, the villa was given to Carlotta Hohenzollern by her mother as a gift for her wedding with Giorgio of Meiningen. The young couple aspired to the throne of Prussia. Unfortunately, however, Carlotta was to die shortly after giving birth to her one and only son. After the onset of the First World War, a 12-year dispute between the Italian state and the German landowners started, ending eventually in the villa being bought by the Italian state. At the beginning of the 1800s, Sommariva brought many art masterpieces here. Antonio Canova's The Statue of Palamedes is dated 1819. Palamedes is a character from Greek mythology, famous for his distinctive intelligence and considered the inventor of both games, chess and dice. According to the myth, Palamedes went to Ithaca to convince Ulysses to take part in the War of Troy. Ulysses, who was contrary, feigned madness in order not to go. However, Palamedes caught him out and brought him to Troy. Years later, Ulysses sought revenge and ordered for Palamedes to be killed. Sommariva was particularly fond of this statue as he felt it reflected his own loss of power under Napoleon due to all the political intrigues. The Last Kiss by the Venetian painter Francesco Hayez was also commissioned by Sommariva in 1823. Hayez was an important figure in the Italian Romantic painting movement, along with Manzoni in literature and Verdi in music. The Last Kiss is considered to be the manifesto of Romantic painting, as it deals with the themes of the impossibility of fulfilling feelings and the eternal link between love and death. Virgil reads the sixth verse of the Aeneid was commissioned by Sommariva in 1818 to the French painter Jean-Baptiste Picard. The painting represents a scene set in Rome at the court of Augustus. As Virgil reads the verse of the Aeneid, Ottavia, sister of Augustus, faints, hearing the verses evoking the death of her son Marcello, and Augustus demands that Virgil stops reading. In the painting, Napoleon and Sommariva himself are depicted, Napoleon as General Agrippa and Sommariva as patron. In 1850, the villa was given to Carlotta Hohenzollern as a gift for her wedding with Giorgio of Meiningen. Their matrimony lasted only briefly as Carlotta died during childbirth just a few years later, and Giorgio never quite recovered from his loss. On the second floor of the villa, we find Carlotta and Giorgio's rooms, their furniture and everyday objects. The rooms face out onto a grand hall decorated with mythological scenes. The rooms, although princely, evoke the beauty of everyday life. In his study, Giorgio dedicated his hours to correspondence and studies on botany. The decor was elegant but sober. Carlotta's room instead was painted pink and with a beautiful vaulted ceiling. The dining area held a table for a dozen guests, with tableware in bone china and silver cutlery, each element precious in itself, yet also familiar. In these rooms and in these gardens, one can find traces of 4 centuries of history.